Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. Or if you're new, welcome. I don't know who's going to receive this, but it is always for your highest and best good. And it is 11 seconds on the timer, and it is always through and with divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine empowerment, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, and divine remembrance, because I am here to remind you of who you are in this beautiful divine magic, and know that you are the quantum medicine and you are the quantum magic. Know that you have all of the power to heal yourself, clear your temple, and to get the work done, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. And you are the light warrior, the rainbow warriors, right? I am here. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. My partner is going through massive detox and purging, and it's showing up in his physical body as recurring injuries, 5-5 on the timer, that are showing up. So source has got me here to share some supplements that might be beneficial, maybe some herbs that are channeled through, because whoever's receiving this is just, you're not also receiving my human words, you're receiving the codes, the frequencies, the healing codes and frequencies that you're meant to receive, and information, maybe just some confirmation if you were asking for some assistance, maybe a little guidance with these ascension symptoms. So I'm going to share my current ascension symptoms. There's a shit ton of them, and you are going to find that during specific waves you might be experiencing more prominent ones than other ones, but they do come in waves. You don't usually experience all of them. Please go look at that. There's a ton of them. So my current, and then I'll share my partner's from what I'm aware of, because he is 5,000 miles away. All right. And so my current symptoms, again, are sleep disruptions. I did sleep 10 hours and 10 minutes, so 10-10 is significant. I'm feeling completely wiped and exhausted these past few days. I thought maybe I could do a workout today. This is my diffuser, welcoming all of the elementals always. All of the nature elements, the earth elements, the nature spirits, all right? And so sleep disruptions, again, we're all experiencing sleep issues. I called my daughter really quick, and my grandbaby's not sleeping. Babies, children are really experiencing it, but they can't vocalize these ascension symptoms. And a lot of parents, like my daughter, that's why mom's here to kind of remind her, even though there's not an understanding quite yet of what is taking place. So everyone's having sleep disruptions. That's a big one. Whether not enough sleep, you're sleeping a ton, you're waking up, can't go back to sleep, you feel completely exhausted like me, even though you were in bed for 10 hours and 10 minutes, and you feel wiped. Like, I feel like I've been training for a Spartan marathon all week with no breaks. And even though I've been resting, I haven't worked out since Monday, I think, 3:03 on the timer. And I just thought, well, maybe today. And I got up and I'm like, well, guess I'm not. Because I listen to my body. I'm at a point now where I'm completely in tune and in touch with my physical avatar 99.9% of the time. Especially when it comes to supplementation and nutrition. And that's part of this conversation, I believe, is why Source wants me to speak on this, because I come from the background of health and wellness and nutrition, nutritional counseling, holistic type living, connecting with the plants and the herbs as much as possible, whole foods as much as possible. Again, trying to find the balance of not under eating, not overeating, not following any particular protocol, because we all did that if you're from there. I've had 20 years experience in this, okay? A lot of knowledge there. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave those and I will assist you anywhere possible, okay? All right. So my current ascension symptoms outside of the sleep and the fatigue and exhaustion is aches and pains in the body. So again, this could be old injuries that are coming up to be cleansed, cleared, and healed because of all of these codes that we're receiving, these light codes. Bones, you literally, the best way I heard this described in the most simplest form is you are going through growing pains as a grown-ass human. I don't remember going through growing pains as a child, but I remember my brother had such severe growing pains. He would wake up in the middle of the night screaming and writhing in pain. My daughter also suffered strongly with growing pains in her hip girdle growing up, and excruciating. So I'm a little familiar with that and with those two examples. But the best way I've heard this described a few days ago is these ascension symptoms, what's going on, what's taking place because of all of the light codes, the activations, the DNA upgrades, the healing at the depth of your molecules in your cells, cleansing and clearing and purging lifetimes of shit, generational shit. It's coming up in many ways, in different ways for people. And the other thing that you're going to experience is a lot more discomfort if you're avoiding doing the deeper work. So it's basically, if you have not chose to do the work, it's basically being forced out of you. Basically, you're being forced to feel all the uncomfortable shit. You're literally making to be felt very fucking uncomfortable through old injuries, through massive discomfort, through cold or flu or detox. I like to call these detox symptoms, right? Or purging of the cells and the molecules in your body. Because in your DNA, these hold information, okay? And now is the time, 544 on the timer, for this to be purged. So you've either been doing the clearing for 2 years, 3 years, or for me, many, many years, but significantly these past year to 2 years for sure, you're going to be made to be really uncomfortable if I've been consciously doing it. So for those that are not consciously doing it, you're kind of being forced into it, okay? I'm also having a lot of neck and shoulder issues, and not because I carry the weight in the world. That I healed all that for the most part. I mean, there's always healing, but you know what I mean. So if you're feeling a lot of weight and pressure in shoulders and you're avoiding doing the work, that's a sign and a symptom to let you know that you need to start going within. If you know you've already been doing the clearing and healing, that to me is, again, heart chakra activation upgrades, throat chakra, which is associated, throat chakra, heart. So upper scapula. So there could be many things going on here. Is upper scapula, mid scapula could be that heart opening, activation, cleansing, and clearing, front to back. So remember, we always think we're not just frontal. Chakras are, yeah. Quit thinking so linear. I struggle with this too. Throat chakra, all right? If you're having any jaw issues, sinus drainage, third eye, all right, sinuses, teeth and jaw, throat chakra activations. Again, are you speaking and standing in your truth? Are you clearing your truth? Are you, recognizing your truth, knowing the truth of who you are? Are you clearing generational timelines where truth was being suppressed? Maybe you've been, throat been slit in past lives. I've had many past lives where I was taken out via the neck. Okay, just not to be too graphic. If you're having any pelvic, lower abdominal issues, that could be root chakra cleansing and clearing. Any digestive issues, solar plexus stuff. Again, everything needs to be purged, right? So when it's to create space. So again, you've either been consciously doing this, like a lot of us, or still unconsciously doing this, and you're just really kind of avoiding it, like, I'm not ready, but your highest says, yes, you are, Kanar. Source says, yes, you are. And you're like, no, I'm not. Well, they're going to say, yeah, you are. Pull the rug out, tower moment, whatever it looks for you. You could meet somebody like me at the grocery store and we have a conversation, and now you're activated and you have an emotional release and you have these aha moments and these downloads and whatever you receive and these codes, whatever it is. And now from that moment, it triggered, just like watching a movie and crying. It creates a purge. Crying is amazing. Snot, phlegm, that's another thing. Another symptom is I haven't been crying as much, but I've been definitely clearing the sinuses, a lot of throat clearing, a lot of scratchy throats. Again, that mucus, that detox, that mucus is that membrane, that stuff that's like that protective layer. So you want to get that out. You do not want to take over-the-counter medication. Do what you will. Always check with your physician, but I'm never going to recommend you to take any over-the-counter stuff. I'm never going to recommend you to take something to suppress your symptoms. What I'm going to recommend is you tap into your human body, maybe do some research and get into some herbs. You could use different herbs like dandelion root, burdock root, is what's coming through for the collective. So look into that and see if that resonates with you. Do this 911. That number is significant. Now. Quick. You need to do this now. What other herbs, please? Ginger. You could get that in teas. You can get that in powder. You can get that in capsules. What else, please, source? Shashandra berry, which is good for the mental clarity. You might be having some brain fog and words not coming out. That's another symptom I've been experiencing. The eyes are blurry. Again, this is all third eye, crown chakra. A lot of crown chakra, head pressure, buzzing or tingling, or just pressure in the occipitals. These are all upper. I've been experiencing more of the upper chakra systems, activations and expansions versus the lower as much. But I keep my food pretty light these days. But I do, pay attention to that. And I've got some supplements here What other teas and tinctures? Things like ashwagandha, if that resonates, tulsi, and you can get these in herbs and tinctures. What else, please, source? I'm just thinking, what do I have in the house right now? All the spices and herbs can be very beneficial in smoothies and soups and stews. Warm hot water with lemon and honey, beautiful. Local if you can, honey, unfiltered if you can. Pinch of salt, and I'll show you a couple different salts I have in the house that I would recommend. What else do we have? Again, foods, of course, whole foods, 100% fruit juices, things that are going to have minerals in them. Mineral drops, we've talked about that a lot. Get them. Trace Minerals is a good brand. Folic and humeric. I used that years ago. Folic and humeric, I believe it's a. I don't know if you can find that, but it's another form of Shilajit. I'm just thinking of another way to get minerals. Because that your body's 70% water. 11 minutes, 11:01. You can drink all the purified water you want, but it's not going to hydrate your cells, and your cells need hydration more than ever right now because of this evolution, this evolving that your human body is going through right now. Of course, we're going to always recommend rest, all the fucking rest. Get out into nature. Through the way the light hits, it looks sunny, but it's not. It's actually really cloudy out today. Really cloudy, rainy again, wet and damp and windy. 11:33 on the timer. So I would get the honey in as well. Very important. It is a tool. Use food as medicine. So treat your food like if you just need a couple of bites of something, take a couple of bites of that, and that's like taking a dose of. It's like medicine for your body, your physical avatar. Well, it's evoluting, going through this evolution. Yep, I just saw a white orb. What else do we have? Greens powder. Okay, I'm going to talk about the supplements. So again, my physical symptoms are the achy body, the joints, full exhaustion, the whole upper chakra system's on and off, head pressure, neck pressure, just blurred vision, just foggy, no energy, no desire to really do anything except for sit, maybe meditate. Maybe I vacuumed, I took a shower. Just light movement. I thought maybe I could get on the yoga mat, and I'm like, fuck, I don't even have the energy to get on my yoga mat to do some gentle movement. Maybe sit on a stability ball and bounce. Excuse me. Even if you have the energy, take a walk. But if you don't have the energy, don't. Relish in the rest. Dulce fe niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. Find some super conscious podcasts to tap into. The Real Ishmael Perez would be a good one to go binge on. I'm trying to think. Emilio Ortiz's, I can't think of. Inspire Nation maybe is his. Is there any other? There's many more that you'll be connected through the algorithm. But if you want to just find a good movie, keep it light. If you feel like it's going to help to watch something that might help you purge and cry, beautiful. Take your sacred baths, get into bodies of water, add the Epsom salts, add the essential oils where necessary. Again, this is learning to listen to the innate intelligence of your body. So I'm going to talk about my stuff right now. So I am on hormone therapy. So I did go into surgical menopause in 2021. I had a full hysterectomy of one ovary left. So I've been on estrogen patches and micronized progesterone since then. Well, 9 months after. Story for another day. And so then I take those, I have those, and then so I take the progesterone every night, and every night I take that with magglycinate. And there's different brands and companies that I feel that are decent, but when you're working with supplementation, you want to keep the ingredients as simple as possible. Make sure there's not a bunch of fillers and fillers and chemicals. There's good shit and there's bad, there's everything, and then there might be a middle ground. So invest in yourself, and if don't get fallen into the lack mentality, and think, invest. And I've always said this for myself. I've always invested back into my body by putting a little extra into my food and the quality of my supplements. Okay, so this is a great one. It is this brand is Micro Ingredients. They have a good brand. This is just pure mag citrate. So what source is telling me, I already know this, to share with the collective, is that you need to increase your magnesium. Citrate's good, glycinate's good. This is the capsule form. It does have a little, gelatin capsules if you're trying to avoid that. This is powders, just really mix it in. It's not great tasting, drink it down. But if you're taking 500 milligrams up it to 1,000, see how that makes you feel, because it's really good for the nervous system. And hopefully you've been consciously working on healing your nervous system in this past year. If not, you need, regardless, you need more magnesium. And how do you know if you, you'll know by your digestion and your purging, so to say. You'll know if you find the right balance. But I highly recommend increasing the magnesium, and I always say take your magnesium at night. That's the most beneficial, maybe an hour or 30 minutes before you go to bed. That will help, okay? I also started taking these again. Again, I prefer the capsules over the powder more, okay? They're pretty big. You take 5 a day, and that gives you about 30 grams. And it's just pure amino acids. There's no breakdown at all. It's just pure amino acids, okay? I highly recommend that. Again, I used to get wrapped up in the protein war, but I'm not there anymore, okay? Protein war, not there anymore. I also started taking niacin. Again, this will flush. You can get non-flushing or delayed release. But B3 is really beneficial. It opens the vessels. It creates a little bit of a sweat and a flush. It's great for your cardiovascular system, your nervous system. So maybe look into some niacin. And who's ever receiving this, there's definitely a reason why I literally was guided to pull my shit out. I haven't done this in forever, especially not for these type of videos. I also recommend, if you feel called to around the full moon cycle, is doing some form of parasitic cleanse. If you've never done that, highly recommend that. 3 to 7 days before, you can use the herbs, and then you can look at foods like pineapple and parsley and papaya, and there's other different whole foods that will help support that. But this has basically got a combination of black walnut, wormwood, I don't have my glasses, clove, and another one. Okay, pretty inexpensive, and you take a couple capsules 3 times a day or so for about, again, up to the full moon and or around that. You can feel into that. And again, I always say, don't take my word for it, take what resonates, all right? This is about resonance, learning how to resonate with a supplement, okay? Muscle testing is very good, like yes or no. So yes, this is no. You can also say, is this supplement good for me, yes or no, right now. So you have to just really learn. So leaning back is going to be a no, falling forward is going to be the yes, and I also use my pendulum, okay? I've sworn by this particular, I've been taking this supplement for over 12 years. I lose track, maybe since 2012, 2013, 2012, maybe, yeah, right around 2012. Every day, and I mix it with just regular water, all right? And they have many flavors. And I've not gone wrong, but there's many options. But again, read the fucking ingredients. Read the ingredients. Get really good. And if you're not sure, do your research. All right? Salt. So we've got Celtic sea salt, Redmond's real salt. All right? You want to kind of go with what's the least, heavy metals are kind of everywhere. So it's kind of like getting the less dosage. So finding things that don't have a lot of heavy metals in them will be very beneficial. All right. Also, to help things moving, you can use casara. So to keep the bowels moving, especially doing a parasite cleanse or anything, you can use activated charcoal. I didn't grab that, but that would be beneficial. Again, be mindful. Do your research. Make sure there's no herbal interactions with anything else you might be participating in. Senna is another one, which you can get in teas again, but capsules are just easier. But you can get these both in teas, and this is just another herb that will help stimulate the system to help you purge out. So if you're doing any type of cleansing, or if you're feeling like you need to detox, ideally activated charcoal as a binder, and then you want to take that to move it out, because you never want to take a binder without taking something that's going to keep the digestive system and the colon moving, okay? Very important. So I would find a healthy greens powder, because it's easy. Maybe some amino acids that would be easier than you're getting. If you've been called to quit eating certain products, maybe get some amino acids to fill that gap. Salt, lots of salt. So if you've been putting salt in your water, or you can kind of see the salt in the bottom of my water here. Okay, maybe not. All right, and add extra. Add extra. So if you've been adding a pinch, add 2 pinches. Your body really needs that cellular hydration right now. Up the magnesium, and then tap into certain herbs that might be beneficial, like the wormwood, the parasitic cleanses, the dandelions, the burdock roots, maybe the ashwagandha, the tulsi, maybe kava kava, which is really good for relaxation. Any spices like the gingers and the cinnamons would be very beneficial. But again, you're not doing this because you're trying to force something. You're doing this to support your system. And then again, making sure that you are resting. So just because I said yesterday, oh, maybe I'll work out, the old versions of myself would just fucking push through and say, fuck it, I haven't worked out in a week, and do it. That's not where you're at now. Now you are at a point where you listen to your body, you have conversations with your body, and you let your body tell you what it needs, and not what you, and not you telling what it needs, like whether that's physical activity or nourishment and supplementation, whatever that is for you, okay? All right. Yeah, I had no plans on doing anything today. My head's under pressure. It's more third eye pressure right here for me today. I'm really exhausted. I think I'm gonna go get plantain chips, and that might be as far as I go today. I thought maybe I'd go get another watermelon, but I'm not really feeling that. I will see what happens when I get to the car to see if I'm called to drive anywhere. Because the other day I ended up driving and there was another accident, and it's just, that's been, again, happening a lot. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments about the herbs or the supplements, and then maybe I can tap in and give my any suggestions that might come through. I've done that many times for people in the past. This poor plant is just hanging on by a thread. All right, and again, these are just suggestions. You do your research. And again, if you have any questions, please leave that below. I will do my best to help, because I've kind of dabbled in this a little while, you know, about 20 years or so. And I'll be 50 this year, so I'll be 50 in 6 months. So I might have a little bit of an idea of this. Okay, so we've got 22 on the timer. So again, take care of you, rest, create spa days, sleep more, rest more, be still more, find conscious, super conscious stuff, unplug from the chaos that's being programmed and pushed into the public. Okay, so take care of you. I love you. From me to you. I'll see you soon. 222. Bye.